buddy. He's showing off that big old nose. And those big old whiskers. Hi, buddy. You know, you got your nicotine patch still on. We'll show that a little later, won't we, honey? It was a big yawn, Maximus. Big yawn. Hello there, Bruce. Hello there, Catitude. Hope you both are doing well today. Mr. Maximus is doing fairly well today. He's not having a diabetic drama this afternoon. My wife is asking what his number is, so let's press this button and let's see where his number is going to read. So we're at 286 right now. Hello there, Phil. Hope you're doing well. So this is the kind of the cool thing that we had installed, literally installed yesterday. As you all can see here, this was put on him, kind of put in him in a way. This is like a little sensor that there's a probe that kind of is inside him a little bit, not very deep inside him, but just deep enough to get some blood readings, fluid readings. And then with this, it pairs, and it always kind of gives an automatic thing on what's going on with the numbers. Hello there, Nature Dog. Hello there, Luis. Hope you all doing well. Luis, thank you for the PayPal donation to help Max in his bills. He does appreciate that, as do I. Every little bit helps. It looks like hopefully he won't have to, though, be hospitalized today. You never know. He was pretty good throughout today, though. And, you know, with this handy dandy little machine, as you can see, it changes all the time. I mean, just a second ago, we were at 286 and now we're down to 284. He's not getting any glucose or any insulin tonight. We talked to our vet earlier, and they just want him to stay off of insulin and just kind of check those numbers periodically throughout the night. So it could be a bit of a long night again for us again tonight. Won't probably be as long as last night because 284 is a lot better than like 40. Oh, Bruce, also thank you. Also, Bruce, for the donation for Max as well. Very kind. But that's kind of what's going on with Mr. Maximus. It was definitely very scary yesterday, seeing a number like in the 30s and the 40s. We've never seen that before. All the time, Zelda has been a diabetic. She's never had numbers so low. It is a possibility that this could be the start of remission with Max's diabetes. It is possible. Time will tell. But we're just glad he made it through last night because he crashed. It's still really weird, though. You know, when I first saw this last night, when they brought him to us, I said, well, Max has a nicotine patch, because to me, it just kind of reminds me of like a nicotine patch, in my opinion. Kind of looks like one a little bit. So it's just kind of crazy. Bruce, wow, you've been a member for 10 months now. Crazy. Almost a year. Crazy how time goes by. Hello there, Chris. I'm not sure if I said hello to you, but hello. Hello, everybody else, also in chat. Catitude, that is the other potential, for sure. That is something that we thought also that maybe his 4 units that he was getting was too much, and just over these last couple of days, it just got to be way too much, and it caused him to crash. That is a possibility as well. Um, so that's why we're not doing any insulin tonight. Our vet wants us to monitor with this kind of off and on, and just kind of see, and they see, and then there's a jump. So it's crazy how this thing can go. We were like in the 280s, and now we're at 302. It's just really crazy, this technology. But it's really cool. I would almost recommend, if anybody has a diabetic cat who is listening, or who in the future might be watching this video, this has its advantages because you can see basically minute by minute practically on what's going on. Now, two disclaimers though. One, this actually doesn't read blood glucose. It reads interstitial fluid. So kind of the space in between the muscle and the blood. It is fairly accurate though, but we were told to though test Max with his glucose reader, and to make sure that they're pretty comparable, which they for the most part have been pretty comparable. And then the second thing, this thing works within like a range. So if so with for example, if you're a certain ways away, this does not, it stops registering. So it has to be, it seems like about 10 feet or so from the cat, dog, or human, because this is actually a human thing. Um, Phil, does that also have the apping pair? Yes, it does, Phil. Yeah, it's pretty much just like the human one. So you can pair this to your cell phone, and with the app on your cell phone as well. Yep. And this was about $200 for the meter and for the sensor. So I'll kind of get a little bit of a closer look. So you can kind of see there's like a little hole there almost. It went about maybe a centimeter or so inside. Yeah, for sure, Phil. Money well spent, absolutely. The way it works though is this here lasts about 2 weeks, and then if we want to continue, we have to replace it. I don't know offhand how much the replacements cost. My guess is probably like around $100, maybe $50. I don't know how much this costs itself. Um, but it lasts for 2 weeks, and then you'd have to replace it. And you'd also have to take it to a vet. It's not recommended for a person to try to take this out and then put this back in uh, yourself at home, because there can be some complications. Hello there, Max79119. Hope you're doing well. Your brother is also named Maximus, or Max. Also, just a little heads up, I just want to let you all know in chat, on Saturday, just a little promotional thing here very quickly. Me and Shelly from the I Am Raven channel will be doing a co-live stream again. It's going to be though about answering cat related and other related questions. It's going to be like a little Q&A. So just a heads up. I'll be sending out, and I think Shelly will be sending out a message tomorrow, a community post tomorrow, just about the time, the date, Saturday, at 11 o'clock on my time, and just to submit some questions if you have for your kitties or cats in general. Hello there, Gato. Hope you're doing well. Max, you're shedding something crazy, so aren't you, buddy? schnortsies. Yeah, last night though was very long night. Uh, Basically, about every 15 minutes, we got up and we checked that reader over there, and he was low. I mean, he got as low as 65 again last night. So we just kept on feeding him, and we'd feed him, and then his number would drop, and then we'd feed him, and his number would drop. So it was like very stressful, very stressful. Phil, how am I holding up? I'm tired. I only probably got like maybe 2 hours of sleep overall last night. Hopefully, we can get some more sleep tonight. Physically, I'm doing better. I'm about now 3 weeks out from my surgery. A little over 3 weeks. No, a little under 3 weeks from my surgery. So overall, we're doing better. Hello there, Jennifer. Hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you for joining me and Maximus here. Maximus is doing better. He's now got two shaved front paws, so he's getting more and more like a poodle. He's got that shaved one from last night from his catheter, and then he's got this other one from his dental. So we just need to shave his back legs now, and he'll be like a little poodle. And then Jennifer, he also, let me see if I can kind of get him to kind of get up a little bit. He's got this now. So he's got another shaved area with this tracker. Very cool though. If you have problems like glucose monitoring your kitty or doggy or yourself, a person who's diabetic at home, this is a really cool little thing that is paired with this, and he laid on it. So that's the other thing. Sometimes if they like move it around, like this was moved because he laid on it, sometimes this will pop up, and then you just have to wait a little bit. It'll refresh itself in a few minutes. So that is kind of the other annoying thing, but it'll pop back up in a second. Just sometimes it kind of gets moved around a little bit, so the sensor kind of goes off. But it's just really interesting, the technology. Technically, this is for humans only, but cats and dogs have started to use it because it's been recommended for vets. Yeah, like my wife is saying, another thing, it does set an alarm. So like if the glucose is too high or too low, it'll make an alarm sound like a phone, which I think is a really neat feature too, just in case you have like some kind of issue or something. Something like that. Hello there, Icon. Hope you're doing well. So it's another kind of neat feature to it. Because it did go off last night, like probably around 3 o'clock in the morning, because he dipped under 70. And once that happened, we gave him some food and such. Orthan, I'd be careful with your comment. I mean, I'm not going to do anything with it, but I would just be careful saying certain things on YouTube. Not because of me, but YouTube does watch this stuff, so you don't want to get your channel having issues with it. Just a heads up. Jennifer, is he doing okay? He seems like he is overall, Jennifer. His number has steadily gotten higher as the day has gone on. He started like in the hundreds. He got up to 300 a few hours ago, but now he's back into the 200s again. So he definitely seems like he is doing better overall. And another kind of cool thing with this, so you can kind of see, hopefully y'all can see this. It's kind of small, but this is kind of, since we started it, this is kind of what's been going on. So the blue line or the green line is kind of where you're supposed to be or where they want them to be as a diabetic cat, right? Yeah. So it kind of started there. And then let me click on here again. So you can kind of see the black line is kind of where we've been. So he was kind of really low there at like 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. You can see he was hovering like around 60, 70, which is in that dangerous part. And then slowly, as the morning progressed, you can kind of see the time. He's kept on going, you know, up, up. Not crazy high, but it's been steadily increasing, which is a good sign. You know, it's much better to be a little higher numbers compared to lower numbers. Because lower numbers, I mean, you know, hypoglycemia can cause death if it's not treated quickly. So we were definitely worried last night that we might lose Max because, you know, he was in critical condition. Um, but he's doing a lot better now. And see, and then this is like the automatic reader. So right now his number is about 283. And this goes minute by minute, so it's really cool. So I'll put this down, and then I'll test it, or I'll look at it again and see what changes. Hi, Icon. I don't remember if I said hello to you, Icon, but hello. Thank you for being in here. I hope you're doing well, friend. We're probably going to hang with Max here for about another 15 minutes. I think half the time we're just going to spend with Max, and then we'll show the other kitties, of course. But I just wanted to kind of start, obviously, with Max, with what's going on. And I appreciate all the kind words and all of the prayers for Max over the last 24 hours or so with the short and with the community post. So yeah, let me click it again. See, so it was like 283 about a minute ago or so, and then now it's going down a little bit. So now we're at 276. So that's kind of the cool thing with this. Hello there. Is it Sukuna? Hello. Welcome if you are new here. I'm just talking about Mr. Max here, who's a diabetic kitty. You have diabetes too? Is it hopefully well regulated there for you? How long have you had diabetes? Max has been diabetic for about 4 months now or so. Hello there, Adriana. We got Max we adopted Max about 9 months ago from a rescue group that we did some fostering with. All of our cats, we have 9 altogether, and all of our cats have been foster, 9 years ago, I meant. Foster fails or rescues. You're type 1 diabetic, and it's been for 2 years. Okay. I have been pre-diabetic, Sakuna, for about 5 years now. So I've been borderline diabetic. So eventually I might get like one of these little machines myself. So, and then, yeah, so this will say, like, right now it says, like, technically this says high glucose right now, right? Because it's supposed to be under 250 where that line is, that yellow line. That's where they want to have it at. And then you can kind of see, it might be a little hard to see on the phone, but there's a red line underneath the green. And that's where it's low glucose. So that's where, like, they might like tell you to, you know, give your cat some food or, you know, check them or something. So that's the range that's just preset for it. We're not worried right now, though, about the high glucose. We're worried about the low glucose at the moment. I appreciate the comment there, Adrian. If you hang out with us for the full live, we go an hour. You'll be seeing quite a few kitties. We do have lazy cats, though. We have old lazy cats, mostly. So we'll kind of go over here, and thankfully Max has not done anything with this. He has licked like the area a few times, and we've noticed when he does lick it a few times, the sensor stops working temporarily, and then it's kind of got to reset itself. The monitor, I should say. And thankfully, like none of the other cats, like Yoda in particular, has done anything with this, and hopefully he won't, because Yoda has an occasion to kind of vampire or kind of tackle the other male cats. But thankfully, though, he has not done anything as far as that goes. But it's a pretty cool little device. Maximus, hi buddy. I know, you're a good boy. We're gonna hang out with you, Maxie, for a few more minutes, and then we're gonna go let you rest and go check out some of the other kitties. If anybody is new watching this, my name is Adam. This is Max. We have 9 cats on this channel. We donate also to various cat charities kind of across the world. Our community just donated to 3 places last Sunday, and we sponsored about 9 senior cats. So hopefully with our sponsorship, they will help them get adopted and find a new home. Bruce, so yeah, what we did last night and what we're going to do probably for the next couple of nights is we're going to keep Zelda, our other diabetic kitty, for those who are new, and Max in our room, and we'll have everybody else outside. Adrian, wow, you have 9, you have 13 cats. Wow, that's quite a bit. Are they foster fells, rescues, combination, pregnant mama cat that had a lot of babies? Sakuna, your highest range or blood sugar was 500. So Max's highest blood sugar that we ever saw was like close to 700. Because it takes a while to get these cats regulated with their diabetes. And sometimes it never really happens, so they're just always kind of having a problem. But hopefully we're getting Max there. He had a bit of a crash, though, last night with his blood sugar. But it's good to see him grooming himself with his cute little poodle shaved paws. And your lowest was 44. Yeah, that's quite a drop there. 500 to 44. You know, the crazy thing, Jennifer, saying that, it's like yesterday before we took him to the emergency vet, he was acting normal. So he wasn't showing like outward signs of hypoglycemia, which could be like staggering around, meowing excessively, being unresponsive, having seizures. So he wasn't showing anything, but he was still having an issue. So, you know, and that's the thing with cats is they are so good at hiding what might be going on for themselves. It's kind of scary in a way that you can't tell necessarily, like, you know, what might be going on in the inside. How is Jennifer? How is it Athena? I think Athena's having some allergy issues, I do believe. We're having to wear the cone of shame. I think it's Athena. How has she been doing recently? Bruce, if you need a Max sitter, you're here. Okay. Understood, Bruce. But I would worry though, Bruce, that, you know, if that happened and then we left and then we came back, Pandora wouldn't be here anymore with us. You would sneak her away with you. Because I know you like Pandora a lot. All right, Bex, let's see if your number is going to pop up. No, see, because he was laying, and that's like I said earlier, he was laying over on this side. So when that happens, it always has to reset this again. So it always takes about a minute, but not that big of a deal. Adrian, yes, all of your cats had a lot of babies. Okay, so you had the little ones. Sakuna used to take 7 shots a day. Wow, when I didn't know how to pop. That's a ton. 7. That is a lot. What, Sakuna, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to say, of course, but I'm assuming you're taking an insulin now. What insulin are you taking, if you don't mind sharing? Bruce, I know. I'm just kidding with you. Jennifer Athena's doing better. She had that corneal ulcer on both eyes. It seems like the wounds are only scabs now, and she's just waiting for the scabs to fall off so you can remove the cone. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear that she's healing, and I'm sure she will be happy once that cone of shame comes off of her. Hello there, Rando. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this is Max Rando. If you're new here, he's a diabetic cat who had a hypoglycemia event yesterday. So he had to go to an emergency vet, and they had to give him some what's called dextrose. Dextrose is basically it's kind of like a sugar inserted into an IV, and just to kind of get his blood glucose numbers up again. So he was worrying us last night. Hello there, George. Hope you're doing well. George, Max is doing better, as you can see. Max now does, though, he has two fashionable paws here now with some shaved paws. And then the big thing he's got here, George, is this inside glucose reader now that they put in last night. Rando, you are new. Well, welcome and hello. Rando, just a little bit more about this community, if interested, becoming a subscriber to here. We do have 9 cats. We do support cat rescues by donating all of the channel revenue we make each month to various cat rescues across the country and across the world. We are here to help out cats in need and to, excuse me, and to get them to live their best lives. Sakuna, it's a desire when you can't eat too much sugar, no carbs unless your sugar is low. Yeah, that must stink. I would, I hate that for you. And hopefully, you found some good things that you can eat as far as that goes. Adrian, this particular kitty, Max, is 9 right now. Sakuna, you're only 11? Okay, well, no worries about that. Nothing wrong with the youngsters. George, what this does, this is kind of like a consistent reader of not blood glucose, but interstitial fluid, which is very close to what blood glucose would be. So we have this reader here, and it's always, every time we can turn it on at any time by just clicking this button, and it's going to give a minute by minute number of what's going on with him. So we had this installed because we felt like, because he crashed yesterday with his diabetes, he became hypoglycemic. We felt like it was good to just always get a number, like what's going on with him, because last night was a very long night for us. So we stayed up basically all night, just continually monitoring his number, because his number was still like in the 60s, 70s, 80s. As you can see now, it's higher, which is fine, but it's better. Yeah, insulin. So you're on Dexcom. Okay. So that's what this device does, George. Sakuna, yes. Max does take insulin. He takes Prozinc twice a day. He was taking 4 units, but since this happened yesterday, he hasn't had any insulin today. We have to get him, we had to make sure that he doesn't tank or doesn't crash again if we give him insulin. So he hasn't had insulin for about 36 hours now or so. So, and as you can see, when I clicked this a second ago, it was like 305. Then when I pressed it again, it was 206. So it's constantly like, kind of recycling and giving up-to-date numbers every time you press it. I can hit this again. And well, now it's not going to show, but it'll show up in a second again. Hey there, Manistine. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. You can see Mr. Maximus here. I like to call this is his nicotine patch. I just kind of say that humorously. But hello there. Adrian, how much subscribed? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Adrian. To subscribe is free, so you know it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Now, I do offer channel memberships. If you want to become a channel member, there's three different tiers, anywhere from 99 cents to 2.99 to 4.99. But to just subscribe to the channel is free. It doesn't cost anything. Those who are channel members, they help a little bit more. They kind of just have a little bit of extra support because they know we donate all of our money, all the channel revenue to charity. George, yeah, he's definitely doing better. Thankfully, and it is still a little weird. I mean, I kind of felt bad for him. Oh, and the other thing too, though, one other thing that he might have in his near future is Sakuna. I appreciate the gift there. Thank you. Um, uh, what am I trying to say? One other thing that might be going on with him also is when he had his blood work done yesterday at his normal vet, he had a couple of levels up a little bit. Oh, Maxie, guess he's going down. That's good that he's going down though. He had some elevated levels, so he might have a little bit, hi Max, of pancreatitis. Oh, how many subscribers do I have, Adrian? Is that what you're asking? I think I have like 6,300 or something like that. 6,300, somewhere in that area. Manatine, you have a yeah. I have a few Manatine. I have a few moderators. I don't have a lot. I got like maybe 8 or 9. Just people that have been on the channel for a very long time, like months and months and months. I only have a few. Sakuna, no, he doesn't have any ketones. Thankfully, he's never had ketones. They have checked him. They checked his urine to make sure that no ketones are building up because that can definitely be a side effect. Having too high blood sugar for too long is those ketones can start to develop, and that can be just as deadly. Excuse me. So it's good to see him eating. George, does it bother him to wear? No, it doesn't. It's not uncomfortable to our. I mean, we don't know for sure. We're told that it doesn't bother a cat. It doesn't hurt them. Some cats, though, what they'll wind up doing is they will they'll get it off eventually, right? Especially if you have like a more active cat, they might kind of roll around with it, or it's not like it's not attached to the body. It has some glue like around it just to keep it secure to the body and to keep it there. But it can come off though if a cat truly wants to get it off. Jan, hello, Jan. I appreciate that $4 super. That'll definitely go to help the cats in need when we donate in June. I appreciate that, Jan. Thank you. So, and if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask about Max, about these diabetes, about this machine, how this works. So Catitude, to answer your question, right now there's really not much to do with pancreatitis besides just to keep an eye on his hydration. What I was saying about that is in a week or two, we might have to do an ultrasound on his tummy. And if we do an ultrasound on his tummy, then he's going to have a shaved tummy. So he'll have a shaved arm, he'll have another shaved arm, he'll have his side over here that's shaved, and then he'll have a shaved tummy as well. So he will be getting his summer haircut. And the reason we would do an ultrasound is just to make sure that there's like nothing else going on with the pancreatitis, with the pancreas, I do mean. And then if they do, I'm sure there's probably medicines. It's usually fluid therapy is what's needed, Catitude, with pancreatitis. and just time, because it kind of gets angry and it just has to calm down, and that takes time to do. We're gonna hang out with Max. Actually, we're gonna go. We do want to show off some other kitties. Let me just check his number. So, like I said, it's kind of staying around that 300 mark at the moment, which is fine. George, I'm tired. You know, my wife and I, we probably got about 2 hours of sleep last night, so we're definitely tired. We're still worried about Max because even though he's doing better right now, he can still. So this is what it would say if it's like high glucose. So very high glucose can be dangerous. Treat as recommended by your healthcare professional. Consider checking your ketone. We're not worried about this right now, so I'm just going to ignore that. We're not worried about his glucose getting high because that's easier to deal with than being low. Sakuna, we're not going to give him any insulin tonight. We already talked to our vet about that. Regardless of what his insulin was doing, or not his insulin, what his what am I trying to say? What his numbers show tonight. We're not giving him any insulin tonight because there's a chance that he could crash later tonight. And if we give him 1 or 2 units of insulin, and if he happens to start crashing at the same time, then we're going to have a problem, and then we're going to be back at an emergency vet again. Oh, you don't have to be sorry, Sakuna. It's a good question, and I understand. But it's not something we're going to do. Now, if like throughout the night, let me show this again. If throughout the night, if we kind of stay in the 200 to 300s, if we kind of stay there throughout the next like 12 hours or so, then we'll call up our vet and we'll tell them, hey, we were at this range like the whole night. Then we probably will give some insulin, but we'll call our vet, or our vet was supposed to call us first, just to kind of let them know and go from there. Hi, Maximus. Are you giving me the eyeball? You like get that camera out of my face now. All right, Maxie. I'm going to let you go. All right, guys. We're going to go show some other kitties. And we will we'll say goodbye to Mr. Maximus for now. If I can get off the ground, that is. All right, Maxie. You be good. And we're going to see some other cats. All right, let's go into here. We're going to hang out with this bunch for a little bit, and we're going to finish up with Rosemary. Those who visit these lives often, I kind of have a routine of what I usually do. Hello there, Cat Penny. Cat Penny, thank you so much for that very generous donation for Max's care. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate it quite a bit. Quite a bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So those who are new, this is Pandora. This is Tang. This is Kit. Kit is about 8 or 9. Pandora is about 13. Tang is 3, I think. 3 or 4, something like that. For the most part, these cats do get along, but hi. Tang, let's get your butt off camera. It's PG. Most of the time, these cats do get together. But obviously, though, with cats, sometimes they have their issues with each other. Nothing too serious, though. A cool little backstory about Miss Pandora here. Pandora, at one point in time, worked, but she did kind of work in a college veterinarian practice school where she was a blood transfusion cat. So she would they would take blood from her and then they would give it to cats who needed blood transfusion because I guess she's like a universal donor, which is kind of cool. So that's kind of a neat little story about Pandora. Kit, I guess her little neat story is she was our only adult foster fail. She was abused or neglected. And the rescue group, the fostering group that we were working with, that we were volunteering with, we always just fostered the kittens. But they asked if we could try fostering Kit and, kind of work on her, try to socialize her. And over time, she was very difficult, not difficult, but she was very shy. She hid a lot in the beginning. It took her a while to trust us that we weren't going to hurt her or anything. And she's probably been with us for 7 years now, maybe. And kind of the funny thing is she's probably like the one that needs or wants, I should say, like the most attention. She's always seeking out our attention and she's always wanting attention. Another little fun fact about her is she, several years ago, was outside in another house and we had a screened-in porch there as well. And she decided that she didn't decide, but she saw a squirrel and she ripped through the screened-in porch and she got the squirrel and she killed the squirrel and she was gone for about 2 days or so. Thankfully, she came back after about 2 days, but that was a very long 2 days or so, looking, searching, asking neighbors, and nobody saw her. So she probably didn't go far, but, that's always worrisome and difficult when one of them run away or hide or get out. This one, Adriana, is Kit, Kit. Let me show some others, because we do got some others in this room. We got 6 in here altogether. This is Zelda. Zelda is our oldest. Zelda turned 20 back in January. Yeah, in January. She is also a diabetic cat. Aren't you, Zelda? And she's had diabetes for going on 10 plus years. So diabetes is not a death sentence for cats. She is a little unusual, though, because I will say most diabetic cats usually, no matter when they're diagnosed, they typically will only survive about 3 years. I'm sure, though, how her parent does with her, like what she does, how dedicated her parents or cat's parents would be. I'm sure it kind of makes a difference, though, as well. But she's doing well, Bruce. She just keeps on trucking. She just keeps on. I don't know. She's an amazing kitty. I mean, when she was first diagnosed at about age 10 or so, we thought, well, I mean, we're probably only going to be with her for a couple of years. But here she is 10 years later. And for the most part, she has some senior moments. But for the most part, she's doing well. A cat penny, yeah, excellent cat parents, yeah. I don't want to get too much into that, but there was just, there was a comment made by somebody who I thought was somebody else, or a different type of person, and they, just, I don't want to get much into that, but I'll keep it at that. Oh, Manistine, I appreciate the $2 super there. Appreciate that. That'll help. That'll help for January there. That'll go to January's donation. Adriana, the one here, the one we just visited, that's Zelda. That's Miss Zelda. We got 3 more to show here, and then we got to go down and visit the little gremlin. This is Tiny. Tang and Tiny. Tang was the orange tabby. They are brother and sister. They were our last fosters that we did a few years ago. Tiny is not really tiny. Tiny's like 18 pounds. What did I say, Bruce? May? I don't know what I said, but yeah, June. You know me, Bruce. It's hard for me to gather my thoughts sometimes during these lives. Sometimes I kind of ramble a little bit, so. But yeah, Tiny's a bit chunky. I would even say she's fat, to be honest with you. That's Tiny. Over here is the baby. The baby, as you can see, is a calico. Those who have experience with calicos, they are normally nutty. Split personality. They'll love on you 1 minute and they'll try to bite you the next minute, and that's definitely what the baby does. She's about 13. We brought her home, or I brought her home when she was a tiny little fuzzball. Surprised my wife because when she walked in the door, the baby was up on a computer desk and she just was like just a fuzzy pair of eyeballs with a tail. And she was pleasantly surprised, I guess, or shocked maybe. I don't remember. But this is a calico, Adrian. Calico because they got 3 tricolor. So you have the black, the white, and kind of the, I guess you can call this brown or gold, but a calico. Usually, there's usually the same colors. Usually calicos, like I said, are a little split personality. And another defining feature of the calico is typically like 90% or so, they are female cats. I have never seen a male calico. It's just one of those things with their genetics that 90% of them turn out to be female. So it'd be interesting if I ever met a male calico. Has anybody here ever seen or ever known a male calico? Yeah, Jennifer, I think that's true too. I was seeing something like that. They have some kind of sterile issue. Let me go under the bed to show the last one. If I can here. All right, the flashlight's not turning on, so you're not going to really see him very well. Where is he? That lump over there. That black lump is Yoda. He's another tuxedo again. I can't turn on the flashlight for whatever reason on this phone, but that's Yoda. He's the biggest goofball troublemaker of the bunch. But that's these kitties. Now we're going to go down. Hello there, Cersei. Hope you're doing well there, Cersei. Oh, Cersei, since you're here, let me show you Max. Since I already showed Max in the beginning, but I'm sure that you're kind of interested, obviously, in how he is doing. So let me get over back with Max, and then we will finish up with Rosemary. Hi, Mr. Maximus. So, Mr. Maximus is doing a lot better than this time yesterday when we were in an emergency vet. He now has, Cersei, he's now got 2 shaved paws because they had to put a catheter in him last night at the emergency vet. And he's got this little feature now on him. This is a little minute by minute, basically, not glucose, because it doesn't measure glucose. It can, but it measures interstitial fluid, which is very similar to glucose. It's not too far off. And with that, you also have this little device. When you turn on, it will automatically show where his number is at, which is really cool. So right now he's at 281, which is obviously a lot better than where he was at. Like last night, he was like in the 30s this time of the night, maybe in the 40s. It was not good. We were definitely concerned that we might, lose Max because, hyperglycemia, that low blood sugar, that can lead to death very quickly if it isn't treated very quickly. And thankfully, we took him to the vet and they gave him some dextrose, which is basically just like sugar, essentially. And that got his number back up. But he had a long night last night, and we had a long night because we had to basically stay up all night and make sure that, his numbers weren't dipping back down to those dangerous levels of like the 50s, the 60s, the 40s. But that's how he's doing. This is a little bit of a weird thing, though. I mean, I will say, to have something like that. I just call it kind of like his nicotine patch. I'm trying to make that a little less fuzzy. It was like his little nicotine patch on him. But anyways. Hey, buddy. Everybody's rooting for you, honey. You got a lot of good people in this chat. They're hoping and wishing and praying for you, honey. Hey there, Judy. Thank you for joining us. Glad you're able to see Max here, Judy. And his shaved paws and his little feature here. His new little device. His little bionic feature here he's got going on. Hello there, Linda. Hope you're doing well, Linda. Glad you're able to make it. Hope you all are doing well tonight. Mr. Maximus is doing well, too. He's doing better, I should say. He's staying pretty good. Yeah, he's staying... like I was telling earlier, those in chat, like this black line is kind of where he has been over those last about 12 to 15 hours or so. So he has risen up, which is good. So hello there, Sharky. Hope you're doing well. All right, we're going to say goodbye to Max for the second time, and we are going to finish up with Sink Kitty, the cult leader, the gremlin, the potato cat. I think she's got now multiple names that she's doing. Yeah, Judy, it definitely did. I mean, we dropped in like the 30s, so that's like crashing. You could start having seizures, you could start having going into a coma, death, and stuff like that. It's very, very scary, and it was a very, very long night last night. So, but I'm gonna let Max be. And we'll say goodbye to Mr. Maximus again. He says, bye, everybody. He says, thank you for your support, for your love, and for your well wishes and your prayers. All right, Max. We'll let you out in a little bit. All right, let's go finish up with the sleeping gremlin. Who is up on her bag, it looks like, at the moment. Hi, honey. Hello there, Tigress. How you doing? So those who are new, this is Rosemary, the gremlin, the potato cat, the sink cat, the cooked cat, the multiple named cat who looks a little stoned at the moment. A little info on her. She is deaf. She does have hyperthyroidism. She is on medication for that. She is about... We were told when we... I'll tell her backstory in a second here. We were told when we helped her out, saved her basically, that she was maybe about 16 to 18 years old. And we've had her for a couple of years, so we really don't know exactly how old she is. But she's probably at least 15, 16, 17 or so. Cersei, thank you for that $10 super chat. That'll go to help in I was going to say January again. In June, Bruce, in June. I appreciate that, Cersei. So a little backstory for her, especially those who are new to this channel and to these cats. So a few years ago, I was working in an animal hospital, and her owner, because I don't like that word, her owner brought her in and wanted to put her down. Why? Because she couldn't take care of her anymore. Thankfully, our staff, the veterinarian staff and hospital staff, they took a look at her, they examined her, they did an examination on her, and they said she's deaf, but this cat is healthy overall, so we cannot, in good faith and in good consciousness, put this cat down just because you can't take care of her anymore. So they decided to take her in. And over time, there were people within the animal hospital who said that they were maybe going to take her home and stuff like that. But just due to, circumstances on their end, I guess it never happened, which is fine. And we were going to be moving out of the area. And I asked them if we could, my wife and I and our, at the time, 8 other cats could take her on. And they said, yeah, sure. Give it a try. We know that you would be good for her, and we know that, based off of your experience and your passion with these cats, especially some of these older cats, that you would give her a good home with whatever time might be remaining with her. And she's been with us for 2.5 years or so now. The only bad thing for her or with her is, unfortunately, she does not get along well with the other cats. We have tried introductions, and she always goes nutty. She gets all buggy-eyed. I mean, she's buggy-eyed anyways, but even more buggy, bulgy-eyed, hissing, spitting, growling, just going crazy. So unfortunately, she has to be in her separate room during the night. But during the day, though, we let her out, and so she has free reign during the day. Not all day, of course, but a good chunk of the day, a good portion of the day. So that's kind of Rosemary's stories. But yeah, she does have pretty eyes, Judy. I completely agree. She's got those dark green eyes. If anybody wants to join her cult, feel free to. She is a sink cult leader. I don't know exactly what she does with the sink. I think most of her subjects right now are just the dishes and the forks and the spoons. So if that's something, that you want to join Rosemary's cult, feel free. I don't know what kind of leader she is, but I'm sure she'll subjugate you all very nicely, as she does to us, as you know, cats do to humans. So, Tigris, you're good. Vicious had kittens on Easter. Awesome. Three orange and white ones. Oh, let me go back to this. Three orange and white ones, one brown striped, and a week after that, Nala had a litter of kittens too. Oh wow, so you got a lot of kittens going on right now. What's the deal with those kittens, Tigris? Do you hold on to them? Do you just kind of adopt them? Do you try to foster them out or adopt them out, or what do you do? Hello there, Carrie Jordan. I appreciate the subscribe as a subscription. I hope that this place will be a good place for you to come and to visit, to feel wanted. We do a lot of cat-related stuff here. We are a big cat community. We're all about just helping cats in need. The biggest thing about this channel is we donate all channel revenue every month to cat charities across the world. Thank you, Jennifer, for the super. Appreciate that. Very kind. I appreciate that very much. We normally go about an hour, and it's just passing an hour. So if anybody, if you have any questions before I kind of start to wrap up, feel free, especially if you are new here. Feel free to ask any questions or not. Or if you're not new here, then you can ask questions too. I'll kind of hang here for a few more minutes. I also wanted to just give a heads up. Tomorrow, I'm going to put out another community post. Myself and Shelly from the I Am Raven channel, we are going to be doing another dual live again. I think the bulk of you know Shelly from I Am Raven. I think most of you are probably subscribed to her. Another, very just humble person who does like a ton of work for cats, for dogs, for birds, for probably other animals too. So just doing very well. And we'll be doing a little Q&A. So if anybody has any cat questions, we'll be putting out a community post kind of together and answering cat related questions or questions about us, backgrounds, maybe stuff like that. So I just wanted to, kind of throw that out there as well. Let me kind of get back in the chat here. I don't want to go too far. Cat Penny, how are you? I'm doing okay. Came here late, if you already said. Cat Penny, I'm physically recovering still from my gallbladder surgery of about 3 weeks ago or so. I'm doing better each day. So I appreciate that. So, overall, we're getting back to where we were pre-surgery. That surgery definitely took a lot out of me. I definitely underestimated that surgery, and yeah, it was a lot. It was tough, but day by day we're getting better. Hopefully now Mr. Maximus will get on a narrow, or not narrow, that's what I'm saying. He'll get on kind of an even path here, and he'll start to do better. So, big yawn, Rosie. But anyways, I'm going to start to head out. I appreciate everybody's time. I hope you all have a good time here. Again, welcome to those who subscribed and are new. We do live streams usually once or twice a week. Just keep an eye out for that. Get your notifications on. Then you'll always know when we're live. Those who did supers, I appreciate that as well. And I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Rosemary knows it's time to go upstairs, so she's got to get her butt off of the what is this, a toaster oven? And yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you all on Saturday. Yeah, when we do that Q&A with Shelly. That's pretty much it. So I'm rambling right now. Those who are new, if you do watch these lives on occasion, I definitely do ramble from time to time. So just turn the volume down sometimes, and you don't have to listen to my nonsense, and you can just look at the cats instead. Anyways, we will see all of you later. Good night. Take care. God bless. And adopt a senior cat if you're thinking of adopting, and speak up for those who cannot. Bye, all. Bye, Rosie. right, Rosie, you're going to go on my lap, honey. All right, bye, Gremlin.